Hello and welcome to the Irn-Cru podcast, the American football podcast made in Scotland by NFL lovers. And I am delighted to say that this is the Super Bowl preview for the Seattle Seahawks. It has been a long time coming, Seahawks fans, 12s up and down the country. We have had a while to wait, but it's been a hell of a season. And I am delighted to say that I'm joined by some of the finest Seahawks fans to cover this tonight and look ahead to the game. I'm all nervous. I'm all excited. I really can't wait to do this. Before we get into the podcast, though, I do want to mention that this weekend we've got some fantastic things lined up for you. On Sunday, we have our pre-Super Bowl watch party, quiz at Walkabout. We will be starting at 9 o'clock, so if you can get in early, we'll make sure that we've got all your quiz sheets ready for that. We've got some fantastic prizes. Thanks very much to Oddballs, who we are in partnership with to give away some NFL boxers. They look fantastic, and really looking forward to them. Got loads of other prizes as well. Got a wee gold Duke ball came through the other day, and loads of other stuff as well. So get in early, get involved with the quiz, and we look forward to meeting loads of fans in Walkabout Glasgow then. Okay. That's the housekeeping done. I am delighted to say, as I said, that I'm joined by some fantastic 12s with us tonight. First up, we've got Angie, who's not long back from Seattle. Angie, how are you?
I'm good, thanks, Lou.
What game was it you were over for?
I was there for the Cardinals game in November.
Amazing.
I'm trying to remember the exact date. Hang on. I think
it was good fun though.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was like perfect weather. I've got friends that live in Seattle. My pal, she's originally Scottish and married an American guy, so they've been over there, or she's been over there for about 17 years. So fortunate enough, that was my second time going to a game with them, and managed to get the on-field passes as well.
Amazing.
So it was just a perfect day. Like the sun was shining. It was like 14 degrees. It was just perfect conditions and just an amazing day. To be on the field was just something else. Unfortunately, we were on the kind of Cardinals side, but we got to see quite a few of the other players kind of come up our end as well. So, and we won. Amazing. So even better.
Big score. We will cover that a wee bit later on. I'm also joined by Gordon Wright. Gordon, welcome to Irn-Cru.
Thanks very much. It's good to be here.
And you have been a Seahawks fan for many a year. You were mentioned off screen there that you used to host nights.
Yeah, we did. Gordon Curry and myself used to organise meets in Glasgow that we'd have every kind of December time. I've been a fan since '85. My dad did an environmental exchange with University of Oregon when I was younger. And he came back with Seahawks and Ducks pennants. The Seahawks were only a couple of years old at that point. So I've been very much on board since then. The Boz was my first love when it came to, favourite player. Although, we made the wild card and different things, it was a while before we really established ourselves as a promising outfit. But no, I've been lucky enough to see them 4 times. So I've seen them in Seattle. I've seen them in New York a couple of times and seen them in London. And it's an itch that can just never be scratched enough. But 2 errant teenage children put paid to a lot of my plans when it comes to what I'm doing Seahawks-wise every year. But we'll get back there soon, yeah.
They do tend to get in the way. It's even worse when one of them turns out to be a 49ers fan, I can tell you as well.
We are also a paternity test.
Not disown them yet, but he's dropped down the age anyway. We're also joined by 12 Talks Josh. Josh, thanks very much for joining us, buddy. It's great to see you.
That's awesome to see you guys too. I don't think we've seen each other, whether virtually or anything, since the Glasgow meetup. So we were talking about this then. I still got your card there, where I'm trying to get you on 12 Talk at some point. This is an exciting time to be a Seahawks podcast or an NFL podcaster. But for yourself, Keith, you actually get to speak about the Seahawks.
Just nice.
That's it. It's been a wild ride this season. I mean, I don't think we'll get onto it later, but I don't think any of us foresaw this coming. We thought there was like at least another year till we were at these sort of lofty heights, but we have been pleasantly surprised by Mike McDonald. So I'm a happy fan.
We've talked about it on the podcast, how it felt like we were building to something, but it just feels as if it's been that wee leap, maybe a wee bit earlier than we thought it was going to be. But it doesn't
3
feel
years,
as if we're stretching.
we thought. Yeah, we thought 3 years. We thought it'd be 2 off seasons at the very least, a couple of drafts. Let Mike Mack start really putting his players in, because I don't think he's got a squad of players, a full squad of players that he sees as Seahawks. Anyone who's tuned into 12 Talk will know that there's at least one player on defense that I'm not 100% convinced by as a Mike McDonald player. But I think he's just, it speaks verses for his coaching and just the culture he's built in Seattle, that we are like that 1 year ahead of what we at 12 Talk and other Seahawks sort of podcasters expected. And it's phenomenal to see.
Absolutely. We'll get right into it then. We'll go all the way back to the start of the season and our pre-season expectations. The year before, we had done well, and we could see that, as we said, we were building towards something, and then we had the off-season. We lost a couple of big players. DK went to the Steelers, a bit of a surprise, I think. Although, when you look back to it, maybe you could see that it had been coming. It just felt as if he was playing within himself for a couple of years, but big trade for him to go to the Steelers. Gino left, went to the Raiders, reuniting with Pete Carroll as well, which was a bit of a surprise. And Tyler Lockett, of course, went to the Titans. Eventually, he was released and went to the Titans. We had some big acquisitions. The main one had to be Sam Darnold joining us from the Vikings, and at the time, it wasn't such the fanfare as that you're thinking. I don't know about you guys, but what did you think? I'll start with you, Gordon. What did you think about Sam Darnold coming in, having had the season that he'd had with the Vikings, but he kind of had that, the ghosts were back when it came to the postseason?
Yeah, I mean, it's a funny one. I wasn't a big defender of Gino. I wasn't a big, I wasn't a critic of him either. He was that kind of mid-tier level quarterback, and he was playing above himself, I think, a couple of years ago. I felt Darnold was a good acquisition, especially at the price we got him at. There wasn't many options in the market that I felt would have done the job. And despite an exciting draft, from a quarterback, I just, it's a bit early, obviously, on that front. And we've not seen him since, very early in the season anyway, for a kind of almost like a trick play lineup. But week one was a bit kind of, when we lost, and the way that we lost to the Niners had me sort of thinking, what is this going to be like? But, you're a fraud in week one. Preseason is utterly fraudulent. You can't take anything from it. I hate preseason. I barely even watch any footage, to be honest, because I'm so desperate for the season to start because you're so close to it. And yet I know it's just utterly preposterous to base anything on the preseason results and footage, because there's just nothing that they're going to show. So yeah, I felt that Darnold was a sound acquisition. I was positive about it, but no one could have prepared me for how well it's gone over the stretch. But that first few weeks, I think it was a bit of kind of, for me, it was a bit kind of understanding the roster and who we were going to be using. I was expecting more of different wide receivers, I think, than we ended up with, and obviously injuries curtailed Horton, but Bobo as well. I'm delighted to see him feature latterly. But Darnold, positive. I would say positive. Full stop.
What about yourself, Angie? The Sam Darnold coming in, taking over as the QB1. I don't know. I felt as if there was going to be a bit more of a challenge between him and Locke at the time. I don't know if it was really going to be much of a challenge, but I thought there was a chance that it could have maybe had a bit of a battle in his hands, but he certainly just took it like a duck to water.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest, I didn't know much about him prior to him coming to the Seahawks. He wasn't on my radar at all, so wasn't a massive Geno fan either myself. So thought he had some good times, but was a bit inconsistent. So I was just happy to see somebody, not new, but new to our team coming in to see what he had, what he could bring to it. So, and it's been a real positive thing that's happened. I think he's gelled with people really well, and obviously got us the results, to get us where we are. So
he has. He's done amazing there. Some of the other ones that we've brought in, and Josh, you can mention what you think about Donald yourself there as well. But I'm also looking to you to talk about some of the defensive players that we got, like Ernest Jones coming in, DeMarcus Lawrence as well. What did you make of the acquisitions that we made in the off season?
I think when you look at the defense, I mean, Donald I'll talk about after, but I mean the defense. I think Ernest Jones has been an absolute game changer for us at that middle linebacker spot. He has set a tone.
Yeah.
To the fact that everyone follows him. When you think that he was with the Rams and there was talk about us trying to trade for him when he was with the Rams, they decided to let him go to the Titans, and then we got him from the Titans. He has been such an undervalued and underappreciated linebacker.
Yeah.
He's come here now with a bit of a chip on his shoulder, something to prove, and he's proved it. That whole defense follows him. And when you look at the leaders that we've got on that defense now, for them all to gather around him and really have him be a culture setter, I think it's been fantastic. Is it 5 interceptions this year?
I think so, yeah.
I think it's the most out of any linebacker. And that's because he gets himself in those right positions. He reads the game so well. He wears the green dot for a reason. And I think he's just been, he is a Mike McDonald player. He goes about his business. He is a perennial team player. You listen to what he said about Darnold during the season when people started to doubt him. I think he's just been fantastic. I think you look at the other veterans that we've re-signed. I mean, you've got Jaron Reed. Love Jay Reed. I think he's a fantastic vet in the middle of that D line. And DeMarcus Lawrence, for someone that was jettisoned from the Cowboys, because let's face it, the Cowboys know loads about edge rushers and their worth. I think he has come in and it's been doing the rounds on social media. His comments saying, "Look, I love Dallas. It's my home, but I'll never win a Super Bowl there." He was right. And he's come here. He's allowed to play his game on a D line with players like Big Cat, with Byron Murphy, with Jaron Reed coming into the rotation, with Derek Hall, Chenna, and it's allowed him to flourish. He's one of the best run stuffers in the league, and he's been able to get to the quarterback as well. And he brings that veteran leadership as well. There's leaders all over this defense, and I absolutely love what Mike Mack's doing. I think it's one of the reasons you've got to rotate the captaincy, because you can't just go, you're the captain, because you look at that defense and you go, well, you could be, and you could be, and it's been brilliant. Some of these acquisitions have just been spot on.
And it's not just the acquisitions; it's been the drafting as well. The drafting's been strong for the past couple of seasons. When it came to the draft last year, round 1, we went for Gray Zabel, who seems to have made a huge difference to the team. I'm still in my infancy. I'm a little chick, a little tiny blitz at the moment. When it comes to learning about the game and when it comes to like the defense and that side of the game, I'm starting to learn it. I've got to say that you guys at 12 Talk are fantastic for breaking it down and making it a lot simpler and easier for people to understand. So really,
because that's how our brains work. We're simple and easy as well, mate. That's all it is.
But it's great because it helps people open it up to people. So I've got to say huge credit to you guys for that. But players like Gray Zabel coming in, Eamon Warry coming in as well, they've made a difference in the first year. So it's been terrific to see. What did you make of the draft class then, Josh?
I loved it. This was Mike McDonald's first real draft. And the fact that he and John Schneider were simpatico in the fact that they knew that our O-line, even though we've got the 2 bookend tackles, they're both now re-signed. That interior has always been a problem. I mean, last season we had the revolving door that was Laken Tomlinson, and then they went out in the first round and they got his replacement, who is going to be our incumbent left guard, hopefully for a long time, in Gray Zabel. Yeah. Absolutely brilliant. And then you look at the top of the second round, packaging those picks that we got in those off-season trades to go and get someone like Nick Emanwari, who since he had obviously he started, had that injury, came back, and you look at how galvanized that defense is with him, because they move him everywhere.
Yeah.
Is he a will linebacker? Is he going to be strong safety? Is he playing at nickel? No one knows. But there's so much disguise going on. I think it's been brilliant. Jalen Milrow, quarterback for the future. Then you look at people like your Riley Mills. You've got, oh my God, I need to get the full draft. This is the Mitch is our draft guy. He'll literally rattle it off for you. But I think it was indicative of the type of draft class that we need under Mike McDonald. These are football guys. These aren't ego guys. These are pure ability. What Mike McDonald sees as a Seahawk guy. They're all leaders. They're humble. They want to come in and play football and win. And that's one of the big things about this team. There's no single person who wants the glory a la DK Metcalf. This is a team full of players who will do anything it takes for the team to win. And I think that's what Mike Mack has built so well so far.
It's a bit weird, Gordon, that last time round when the Seahawks were in the Super Bowl and then went back the year after, that we weren't very much likable, and people could jump on like Sherman in the mouth and the way he ran his mouth, and you can either love that and accept that as a game, but it kind of put a lot of people off the Seahawks. There's loads of people that I've heard now that kind of want the Seahawks to win. It might be because we're up against the forces of darkness have done it 6 times, and exactly. I think that might be part of it. But we're a hard team, but we're a likable team. There's nobody really running their mouth type thing. It's a hard way to put it.
No, I know they're pretty careful. I mean, Metcalf used to really piss me off with the stupid penalties he would give away, and then when it would get in his head and he wouldn't make catches you'd expect of him and things like that. So, I was probably one of the few that was quite pleased to see us trade him. I think Zabel is just, for me, he's been the game changer this year. An O-line that works, and I know there's a weakness on our right hand side. But conversely, the Patriots have got a weakness on their left, and I'd much rather have a weakness on the right than on the left. So, to me, that's going to be one of the key things of the Super Bowl as well. Worry. For me, he's like a pawn. At the start of the season, he's made it to the other side of the board, and he's now, he's a fully moving queen in any direction. He's probably never been referred to as a queen before. But if you're thinking about it as a game of chess, then as a chess piece, he's definitely the pawn that's made it to the other side, and he can now do anything. I think the last time in the Super Bowl. Last time we were in the Super Bowl was we were a bunch of lucky bastards when we made it to the Super Bowl the last time, because I mean you look at the Green Bay game and then you look at even Kerr catching it off his midriff and his knee and then into his hands to get us set up for beast mode to crash that 8-yard run or whatever it was, and then not be given the carry on 2nd and goal from the 1. But I love the talking. I love the fact that Sherman would run his mouth, because he could back it up. He was good enough, And Chancellor never said anything. He just hit people. And I can't remember the name of the Niners tight end, but the one that, it was a penalty. He got flagged for it. But remember the Harbaugh's birthday when they played in December 2012 at the Clink, and he hit him so hard that he just knocks him into next week. I can remember the name of the tight end. He was out of the game after that. But anyway, that was one of the hits that you see again and again that Chancellor made. But that Legion of Boom, yes, of course, they were mouthy, brash, big. I remember us playing the Rams and coming down to the end, one of those 2 seasons, and we kept them out to win the game, and it was a low-scoring affair as well. And that was really the benchmark of our season. I think with this one, equally, when one side's not working, the other one is. And we have very much had this kind of roller coaster season where, and I say roller coaster because we up to the Tampa game, we've climbed the start of the track, and then everything after that has just been a complete careering positively downwards and a hell of a ride. So I'm locked in. I cannot wait for Sunday. I am so convinced. I was only slightly tempered by the news of the ankle injury. to 3. But thankfully, it looks like he's going to be okay from what I've seen so far today.
I was
Or
just
certainly
looking
get
that up
suited
there.
up, they're saying, But
Yeah.
I thoroughly, genuinely think we are going to smash them. I really do. I don't want to be overconfident, and it's not a case of that. I just have this feeling that we are going to annihilate them, and I'm salivating at the prospect of it. I swear to God.
Right, we'll get a score off you towards the end, but I love that confidence, that energy, as long as we take that into the game on Sunday. And what about the start of the season? We didn't start the strongest. We were beaten by the 49ers 17-13, but if I remember correctly, and I didn't get a chance to look over all the games today before the podcast, but it came down to the final play. And I think that's been the case for each of the 3 losses that we had this season, where we were in the game right up to the final play, and it could have went either way. Something tells you it was as Darnold was about to throw it, somebody's crashed into him.
Someone crashed into Abe Lucas, and
Yes.
Lucas ended up dislodging the ball. Yeah.
That's the one. So my son, as I said, the 49ers fan, the two of us stayed up to watch that game, and he gave me pelters. I didn't hold back when it came to the return game at the end of the season. But we'll get to that a wee bit later. The start of the season, we had all this hope and maybe not expectations of how it was going to go, that it would maybe go as well as this, but that was a wee bit of a dent. But we came back strongly, beating the Pittsburgh Steelers 31-17, the Saints 44-13, and the Cardinals 23-20. It was a strong start to the season. We seem to have, I think we've played different ways at the start of the season to what we have now. It was as if we blitzed teams in the opening quarter and ran up the score, and then we were able to relax into the rest of the game. Maybe relax a little bit too much, but the start of the season, Andrew, what did you make of that?
Yeah, I think we were just unlucky. I think in some of those games, as you said, it came right down to the very last sort of throws that were going on, and we were just unlucky that we could have got it, but we didn't. But I think also it's just a new team together, and just everybody finding their place within that team. It just took a wee bit of time to completely gel, but I think now that clearly that as the season went on, that came together really, really well, and it's just the whole Legion of Boom thing that you talk about previous, when we won the Super Bowl. It's you see people commenting on it and sort of are referring to that as well, but it's a different boom sort of that's going on this time round. I don't quite know how to describe it, but it just felt really good as the season went on. As game after game we were getting good results. It was just a confidence building, I think, as the season sort of developed, and that the choices that Mike McDonald was making, it was all the right things, but it was all heading in a positive way. So
the dark side defense, I hear that's what we're calling it now. Is Josh, up to week 8 was when we had the bye. We were 5-2 at that point, having lost to the 49ers. It started strongly, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and it was a bit of a shootout. And again, forgive me for not checking this, but was it a missed field goal attempt at the end?
I think it was a missed field goal from Myers, wasn't it? That's one of his few misses.
Absolutely. We were very much in every game that we played, and as we said, ran up big scores. Did you feel that the bye came at a good time for us, just to allow us to get that reset?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a fan of the actual, what I call the real mid-season bye. The one that sort of sits kind of halfway in, not one that's at week 4, or one that you get at sort of like week 14, where you've got most of the season out of the way, and everyone's like, well, how do we reset now? I think much like Gordon said, I think the pre-season is a bit of a fallacy, because it's very much a matter of you'll trot your starters out for a little bit, let them get loose and get some reps, and then it's just backups. Who's going to be practice squad? And you start picking your favourites from that, but it doesn't really show you anything. The first game of the season, I genuinely, and I said this on our pod, I don't think matters that much. It's a fraud of a game, because especially for a team that's got so many rookies in key positions, that's got a new offensive coordinator, we came into that game and I predicted that as a loss in our sort of pre-season show because of that very reason. And for us to lose by 4 points is what it is. Then, like you said, we put what I wanted this season was what I call foot to the throat football. It's the same as when I coach rugby. I want foot to the throat rugby. If we're running up a score, don't take your foot off the pedal. Go. Yeah. That New Orleans Saints game was exactly that. I think as we got to the bye, we recalibrated, we reevaluated how we want to play, and we started running the ball more.
Yes.
And really trying to get our running backs going, and that's what Mike Mack wanted from this team. And you started seeing Charbonnet going, you started seeing K9 going a bit more, and that's really paid dividends towards the end. Unfortunately, Charbonnet's got that injury, but I think barring that first loss, I mean, we've lost the 3 games we lost this season, we've lost by less than 10 points in total. I'm pretty sure it's 8 or 9. I'll double check. But to see the way that we have won and we are winning now, I think that bye came at a perfect time for us to start playing the football we want to be playing at this point in the season for the Super Bowl. So we know what our game plan is. We know what players to use, when and where. I think Kubiak, unfortunately, and we might discuss this later, he got a really good grasp of his personnel and how to use them. And then next season we'll see how that goes. But I think he's really got the team going properly. That bye could have come at a better time for me.
I mean, there were three kind of points for me in the season. One was the Bucks defeat, when it was a real kind of high scoring game. But I've read a few articles around about the reset that happened with the D after the Bucks game regarding the scheme, and the fact that was when they changed regarding the D. The other one for me was the Colts game, and I think that the Colts game serves as a reminder to that kind of any given Sunday idea, But once we got over that hump, I think the remaining games we have, we've just kept gathering momentum, and I just think we are now this unstoppable boulder that is on its way down the hill. Honestly, really do.
I love this. You're absolutely bringing me on. We're talking about the defense and the reset there. Well, we mentioned Mike Mack, of course, and how well he did with the Ravens. We've got a good friend that's part of the pod, Mikey, who's a Ravens fan, and gutted that Harbaugh left so late that they didn't manage to keep a hold of McDonald. That thought that he was the heir apparent. I feel we're onto an absolute winner with him here. But a word for our defensive coordinator, Aidan Durda, British defensive coordinator, first British DC to make it to a Super Bowl as well. Josh, how do you feel that he's put a stamp on the D this year? Or has it been more Mike Mack's influence, or does Aidan get a say here too?
I play calling Mike Mack 100%. Coaching, and I found this out this week. It's Aden Durday.
Oh, Aden Durday, right? Thank you.
Don't worry, I've been calling him Aidan all year. And the only reason I know it's Aden is because I've got a client who works heavily. He works with the London Warriors, and I was chatting to him, and I kept calling him Aidan, right. And he just pulled me up and went, "Josh, please stop. It's Aden." I was like, sorry, mate. But I think Durda, behind the scenes, I mean, Durda is one of the main reasons we got Tank Lawrence. Tank Lawrence has said, well, anyone who knows the chronology knows that they both came into the league together. Durda was sort of in his sort of coaching infancy with the Cowboys when Lawrence came into the league and whatnot. But I think he has learned so much, and the guys respect him so much. He's been fantastic behind the scenes. He's a D-line edge rushing. That's his specialty, and that you can see that. I think the whole defense just got behind what he's preaching. He's completely on board with what Mike McDonald sees as a football team, as a defense. And I think his fingerprints are all over this. When you look at the four-man rush, look at how effective they are. You look at how our edges haven't been that effective, but they've not been effective by way of stats in sacks, but they've been effective in the way of disrupting and closing down a pocket, which allows our interior D linemen to get home. And which is why you've seen Big Cat and you've seen Byron Murphy being so effective, possibly the most destructive interior D lineman in the league this year. I think Dirty's been fantastic. I mean, I've said, having spoken to people that know him or know things, he's basically being groomed by the NFL to become a head coach. They want him to be the first non-US sort of head coach. And if they ever do expand into Europe and there's a London team, I can guarantee, I put money, if you're a betting person, that Adam Durde will be the coach of that team.
I think they were talking on, I can't remember if it was Sky Sports or something last week. We did a wee interview thing with him, and that's what basically the commentators were saying afterwards. He's going to be the first, British NFL head coach, so which would be amazing.
Yeah. If you heard Mike McDonald talk about him the other night being interviewed, he was talking about how his coaching was just imperious. How he was developing the D in line with what Mike's idea of play calling and playbook was, but he says we wouldn't be the team without him. So I get the fact that Mike calls the plays, but I think Adam is equally complicit in how good and strong that defense has developed.
100%.
We may as well then jump conversely to the OC and the heir apparent in Vegas, it seems, and Clint Kubiak. Gordon, at the start of the season, we were all unsure how JSN was going to fill DK's boots. Was he just a slot receiver? Was that all he was really good for? Wow, did he settle everybody?
I think, I was optimistic when we went into the season thinking playoffs. We'll get to the playoffs. We've got a good chance of getting to the playoffs. Having won 10 the previous year, I thought, even if we win 10 this year, that should be enough. I didn't expect us to have, Prime Brown as our wideout, and just, he is a figure skater. He is so graceful. He just... Yeah. I mean, apart from the fact K-Dog broke some ankles with his Duke the other, in the game against the Rams, which was such a delight to watch.
Omar Spates is still on skates.
JSN he genuinely is like a figure skater. He just glides, and I don't want to, touch wood and all that. I don't want to tempt fate, but when he takes hits, he just bounces right back up. And he is so resilient. He's a class act, he's not arrogant about it. He's clearly got a lot of friends from Ohio and that are playing in the league, and you see them after the game and they all love him, as a character. The team all love him. There was a really good interview the other night. He's got a huge Dallas Cowboys tattoo sleeve right down his arm with a Lone Star and stuff like that. They're saying, you're going to get that removed, stuff like that. He's like, no, it's part of my identity. It's sort of part of who I am, type idea. But I genuinely feel that we're blessed at this moment in time to have the group that we've got. 12 as one, without a shadow of a doubt. We are just this unique collective, of individuals that, as the season has come on, have come together in this team dynamic and I hear all this stuff. I've deliberately been listening to Patriots pods just to really wind myself up, a bunch of arrogant pricks.
Get in the comments.
Oh, just
just
listening
to Danny.
And how they're trying to convince themselves, that they have a chance. And maybe I'm being the arrogant prick now, but I as I keep saying throughout this pod, I just am so convinced that we are going to absolutely annihilate them.
Talking about the Patriots, sorry to interrupt there. Like I where I live in Essex, the majority of my friends are Pats fans. So everyone I watch the NFL with or play fantasy football with locally are Pats fans. One of them is flying out to Santa Clara to go and watch the Super Bowl. He's a Pats fan. Yeah. And it came up on our group chat earlier that, have a good game. I'm like, you'll be up close and personal to see the Pats win. And one of the lads chimed in and was like, "Oh, I don't know. I think you'll be closer than you think." I went, "Well, I've looked at our rosters, and I'm pretty sure that the Seahawks are better top to bottom than the Pats." He went, "No, I can only see the only game changer on your side being JSN." I said, "On the offense, JSN, K9, Donald's playing at a nearly elite level." I said, "Our O-line is much better than you anticipate." I said, "You've also got Cup in the slot doing fantastic. You've got Raheed Shaheed, who's going to be just a field stretcher. If you don't account for him, you're screwed." And then if you look in the defense, I literally rattled off pretty much all of our defense was better than theirs. I think they've got Milton Williams and Gonzalez. I think they possibly make it into our team. And I said, but maybe that's just me being a cocky Seahawks fan. I'm not a fan. I'm not a cocky person, but I'm a very logical thinker. And when you look at stats and you look at the teams and you look at the fact that everyone is going Seahawks, even people that hate the Seahawks, are saying the Seahawks are a better team.
Even Fred Warner.
Yeah, I know. When we had our pod with Rob Staten, I said, like, I always try and, from a rugby coaching capacity, I always try and stay as level as possible because you never know what's going to happen. I don't get too high, too low. I'm like, right, the game's the game. So the final whistle's blown, then you can celebrate or commiserate. And I try to stay on that level. But Rob Staten, who is famously very outspoken about the Seahawks, good or bad, love him or hate him, he pumped me up on that pod to a point where I finished. I was like, we're going to win the Super Bowl. This is going to be amazing. So, Gordon, I am with you right now. And I don't want this to come and bite me in the arse, but I genuinely am so confident in this team that I can't stop talking about it.
Me too. I mean, Gonzalez, I think, is a class act. It's interesting. It depends if he does the whole... one of the pods I was listening to the other week was talking about Belichick would deliberately take the second best safety and put him on GSN, and he'd bring a second best corner and put him on GSN, and then bring one of the safeties up, so there would be two men on him. Now, it's conversely, if they have a two safety look, we're going to run the ball, But I also expect us to use far more Barner in a slant, slot catching area than I think probably others are expecting. But I mean, the great thing about JSN is, he's getting the ball. They line him up in the flat, they give him the ball, and no one can stop him. So it's going to be really interesting to see how they try and cope with that. Because if we're struggling to get a first down, and maybe we punt the first possession or whatever, I'm not saying that's going to happen. But if it got to that point, we will line up. And there will be screens, but it will be GSN that we'll be looking for. And he's so hard to stop. And with the blocking that we've got, with the mentality of the team, and Kubiak's play calling this year has, again, there were a few blips, the Colts one being a difficult one, but I just think he's got this number. And I tell you what, McDaniels, who was the wide Endelman? I used to despise Endelman,
Julian Edelman,
and McDaniels, because I just felt that they epitomised the arrogance of the Patriots, and nothing would give me more satisfaction than having gone through the so-called offensive messiahs of Niners, Rams, and now the Pats, with McDaniels, and just watching the tears at the end will taste so damn good.
I feel this is like a therapy session for you. We're going through some past trauma here, Gordon.
Carry on, keep venting, Gordon. Go on.
Oh man, honestly, it was such a sore one 11 years ago, and I just cannot wait for this game. I swear to God. I mean, my mate's a Saints fan, and we're there every Sunday night. There's normally four of us: a Niners fan, two Saints fans, and myself. And the Saints one was a sore one for them, but he's been desperate for his team to lose all year because he wanted the number one seed, and he was getting more and more annoyed when it looked like Shuck was going to actually be a serviceable quarterback, So it's been a great kind of roller coaster, but as I said, we are now on this unstoppable, just careering downhill, knocking everything down in our path. So long may that continue.
Absolutely.
I think if we played the way we played in our last game, and they play the way they played in their last game, we're absolutely hammering them.
I know, but this, I think the snow game was a really interesting one. Angie, I don't think we can take much from that. So on the pods I've been listening to really wind myself up, they've been talking about Pats have only conceded X many points across the entire playoffs. Seahawks did that in their last game. Yeah, but not everyone's playing against Stafford and two
the
true
best
number
offense in
ones,
the league.
two true number ones at wideout, and the scheming that goes with that. So yeah, I don't think you can hold a candle to the Rams if you're the Patriots, and I just, yeah, I'd be confident. I think you're right, Angie. I don't think that they are playing well, and I think they're trying to talk themselves and convince themselves that they've got a performance in them. But I remember Buck when he met his wife's Joe Buck, the commentator. His wife is a Broncos fan, and when it was Super Bowl in New York, which we won, he met the Broncos and they did it in the team bus. And then the next day he met the Seahawks at the hotel, and his wife was like, "How was it?" And he said, "They're not losing." He said he just felt that they were ready to run through brick walls to achieve that win. And I genuinely feel the same way about us. I just cannot see how we lose this game.
I'm not going to sleep tonight now.
No,
listen. Do you feel the same about this? I mean, me and Gord have waxed lyrical about it, but I want to hear what you think.
Yeah, no, totally. I was actually in Seattle when we won our last Super Bowl. So I was over visiting, and it's a total bucket list moment. Like, and all my friends that are over there now, like when we won the game, obviously the other weekend, and they were just like, "Get your flight booked," and I was like, "I can't. I was there in November."
I know.
So listen,
you're a good luck charm. You're the good luck charm. We're starting a GoFundMe tonight. If you can donate in anything you can to get Angie over there to help secure the win, please do.
That's what all my guys over there, that's what they call me, the good luck charm. Like, because the 2 games that I've been in Seattle, we won both of them. Like when I was over previously. So, and then obviously when I went over to visit in 2014, we won the Super Bowl. So that's basically what they call me, the lucky charm, the Scottish lucky charm. So. But yeah, I have. Usually, I'm not that. I would be like a bit like what you're saying, Josh. You just try to keep it kind of level and don't get too excited. But I'm struggling. I'm struggling. I've just come off a night shift as well this morning, so I'm like a lack of sleep and coffee to keep me going. So and then just getting prepped.
I've gone the other way. I'm like, I need to sleep, so I'm having beer. I've got a long weekend, so.
My first game was 2013. In December, we were in MetLife to play the Giants, and we won 23-0. And it was I've never felt cold like this. I mean, Scotland is like a wet, damp cold. Even when it's really cold, it's not like the dry ice cold that you get in the States. That just was something else. But to win in MetLife, and then when you're watching the game from home and it's the Super Bowl, now Scott Whitelaw, who's a big Seahawks fan, who some of you might have met, member of the UK Seahawkers, he was there for the Super Bowl in New York. But I think having been to MetLife and then 2 months later, they're in the Super Bowl, and you can totally envisage it all. Having been in the stadium. I've never been to Levi's, but. Again, bit of a lucky charm. Scott Whitelaw has been to Levi's. We call him Nacho because he always wears the Seahawks wrestling mask, and he was wearing that when he was at Levi's. So maybe there's a good luck element there as well. Who knows? But yeah,
tell me, guys.
My friends that love. Oh, sorry. I was just going to say to my friends. Want to go, Keith? You go.
No, you go, Auntie. Let's go for it.
My friends that live over there, they've got a couple that they're friendly with, and it was one of the guys' birthdays recently, so the wife has actually bought them tickets to the Super Bowl, so for $12,000. So they're going. I was just like, oh my God, it's going to be amazing. So that's some bucket
I had a look
present.
last week, and they were sitting at $8,000 for the cheap seats, when I checked.
Ridiculous. I've got a 6-year-old and a mortgage. There's no way I'm getting paid for that.
Well, you could buy a divorce for that, Josh, if you wanted to.
No, you put ideas into it, Gordon.
Tell me then, what's been your highlights of the season? Angie, I'll start with you. What's been the bit that you're going to remember most from this year so far?
I think just seeing like the progression of the team. It's not been any one individual player for me, and just not really knowing what was going to happen this season. With everything, all the changes and new players and stuff, and just being really disappointed last season. With the way things went. So I think it's just been nice to watch it, just us get better and better and better. So it's not really been any one particular thing for me. It's just seen the team coming together and gelling, and like you were saying earlier, nobody's got a big ego and nobody's mouthing off. They're all focused on the same goal, and I think that's really like evident in the style of play, their behaviour, everything, even off the pitch as well. So.
Yeah.
For me, it's just been a real nice, like, slow build up to where we've got to. Yeah,
Josh, what about Josh, what about yourself?
So I want to say what Angie said. I put my coach's hat on and see this, and I go, the progression of this team's been fantastic. But you know what? I'm going to put it down to one single moment, and that was the 41-6 win against the 49ers in the first round of the playoffs for us. That absolute demolition job where in the first 13 seconds we scored more points than the 49ers did in the whole game. That for me was just, that was like the encapsulation of everything. Like what Angie was saying, the way this whole team, this club has come together to see what they put on paper there, to say, look, we don't care if you've got injured players, who you're playing, where we're playing, how we're playing. This is what we're going to do to you. And they did. And that for me was, that's when I first started feeling that little tingle in my tummy. When, maybe we've got a proper shot here. And then the next week, I just thought that was such a hard battling game. But that 49ers game was just chef's kiss.
The 49ers game for me was the re-emergence of the lore of the 12s and the noise and how much our fans drag our team through. And I think we've got two plays that are in the top 5 for the loudest, and the
Shaheed
NFL and Shaheed, and that the noise all the way through the game they talked about, it was absolutely ridiculous. But that feels as if we're starting to make Lumen Field a fortress again. There's been talk since McDonald came in, his form away from Lumen had been so much better. We were a travelling team, but now it feels as if we're getting a really good balance there. Gordon, what about yourself?
Yeah, so I mean, I think what Jody has done with the home ticketing arrangements is fantastic, because there was nothing more sickening than seeing previous playoff games or important games where half the stadium looked like it was in the colours of the Niners or an opposition team. And I've having been and experienced how loud it is. We played the Panthers when I was there, and it was incredible. The noise. And it's disheartening to think that there's so many that own tickets that let them go elsewhere. So for Jody to actually limit how they were sold, and that they could only be sold within a certain radius of zip codes, so that it was contained within that Seattle area, I think was superb. And that's really helped turn it back into a fortress. And the fact that they're removing season tickets from people and reselling them to people on the waiting list that are local, I think that's phenomenal as well. For me, the moment of the season for me, there are two, and maybe that's a bit of a cheat. But the first,
you will have one, Gordon. That's it.
The first one was Charbonnet picking up that stray 2-pointer in the end zone, which I fucking, excuse my French, I fucking love shit like that, because the amount of shit that you get about your team being so damn lucky and stuff like that. And don't get me wrong, the Seahawks over the years have had a pretty charmed existence when it comes to luck, with a lot of big plays and games and things like that. But that just epitomised, how great sport can be, that they gave up. And he picked it up and got 2 points.
Don't get it twisted though. He had no idea.
I know.
He was just
I know. No, don't get me wrong. It was a complete fluke. But the fact it was a complete fluke, I adore that. I absolutely love it. But the second one was at the end of that game, to go for it on the 2-pointer in overtime and just nail it. And that play was just so perfectly designed and perfectly executed, and it was Darnold against a team that he hasn't been able to slay, you know. So to do that and to exercise those demons, and the belief that I think has flowed naturally in him since that night, woof, that for me was the pinnacle of the season, the turning point of the season. Yeah.
Great shout.
I think you're right. That was the turning point. Before we came on, I was telling you guys about my big moment of the season, and it was in the final game of the season against the 49ers at Levi Stadium, where we were 3rd and 16, and it just felt a pivotal moment in the game. And to get the number 1 seed and how much that has helped us in the 2 games that came after the end of the season, for Kenneth Walker the third to burst through, and it just opened up for him. And I'm a football fan, a Fitbit fan, whenever it comes to that. And this was the first time that I properly jumped up and celebrated like I have at the Fitbit, where I go mental, and I love it. It's the spontaneous euphoria I talk about whenever it's the Fitbit. That was the first time I really felt it for the Seahawks, and it's just grown and grown and grown. Talking to you guys tonight, this is not going to help my sleep pattern one bit for between now and Sunday. This is going to be ridiculous, but I'm absolutely buzzing so far. And yeah, a huge moment for me.
If you think that's a cheer, jump out your seat moment, you should have been watching the tip, you know, live, and that was one of those moments. But no, the moment
was that against the Packers?
About,
no, the 49ers.
When Sherman tipped it in the NFC Championship game when we went to win the Super Bowl. So that was a real get out your seat cheering moment, and plus it ended the game pretty much. But from my side, that run that you speak about, what was the pièce de la résistance and the cherry on top for me was when it cut to Lynch raging in the executive box that none of his team could stop that. That was, I mean, from euphoria of the play to achieve first down, and then incredible laughter at the impact it had on Lynch as well. That was just delicious, so delicious. Yeah. Love it.
We've talked about the squad. We've talked about the coaches tonight, and you're talking about Lynch there. I think it's important that they also mention John Schneider's role in this team. I remember him there because the sweat patches under his arms were ridiculous that evening. I hope he's got some nice antiperspirant for the Super Bowl. That's all I'm saying. One of the most pivotal moments for the season for us has been the acquisition of Rashid Shaheed. Josh, just a few words about how important he's been in changing the dynamic of this team.
I don't think it can be understated. I think last year I had a massive bee in my bonnet about Harbaugh. I called him a Nepo hire because he is a Harbaugh family member. This year, however, even before the Rashid trade, he proved that he actually does know a little bit about special teams. And then as soon as he got a weapon on returns, like Rashid Shaheed, who can spot a gap, can make himself skinny to get through the defenders, and can accelerate in 6th gear, he has been fantastic. He's not had the impact, barring that one long reception that he had in the last game on the receiving game, but special teams, he's been brilliant. There was a lot said about we're not going to have any deep threats because DK Metcalf isn't here. Huh? Who cares? I would rather have someone who fits the culture that can do what Shaheed does, because he's still a field stretcher. You know, what is it? He runs a 4.3, I think it is.
Yeah.
You know, ridiculously quick, can make himself skinny, has got, in my opinion, better footwork than Metcalf had. He doesn't just try and blow past people. He can actually dip it, like sink a hip, dip a shoulder, and put a move on someone to get that separation. I'm waiting for it in the Super Bowl or for next season when we re-sign him, because there's no way we're letting him walk out this building unless someone's going to offer him wide receiver 1 money.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for that moment in the Super Bowl where someone forgets that he's a threat.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to beat around the bush. He's quicker than Gonzalez. If like Gordon says, if they're going to put their number 2 cornerback and a safety on JSN and put Gonzalez with someone like Shaheed's going to burn him.
Yeah.
And that for me will be a play that really says this is what we're all about. This is the threat that we signed. And this is the guy who's completing this wide receiver room. When we get Torrey Horton back next season, you know, Cup will probably sink into that sort of wide receiver 3 rotation.
Yeah.
But he's been invaluable as a veteran as well. You know, I think
it's been amazing as well.
Oh, he's so good in the run blocking game. And I think it's just Rashid just adding that weapon to what Kubiak's got. Whoever steps into this OC role next year has just going to look at that wide receiving core and go, I've got so much to work with. Yeah. So much.
I just can't wait for 76 to be on the scrimmage line reporting as eligible. I mean, imagine Zabel's crazy tash and big cheesy smile if he catches anything in that end zone.
Just imagine.
Sorry, I interrupted, Keith.
No, not at all. Just going to say that Cooper Kupp's experience this week is going to be invaluable to the team, having been the MVP in the Super Bowl that he played in and won, of course. Maybe even Darnold as well, having got there as the backup with the 49ers. I think people forget about that as well. So we've got experience for this week. Players will know how to manage it, how to deal with it. But for such a young team in parts that we've got, it's going to be interesting to see just how they deal with it and how in that opening drive, just what sort of Seahawks team we're going to see. I really cannot wait, though. I can't wait.
I almost think that's overrated, Keith. You know, the fact that the team's young, that people haven't been there before. I think it's great that you've got a couple of vets there that can have a quiet word with people on the sideline, in the scrimmage, whatever, you know. But I genuinely, as I've said, the mentality of this team, I don't think it matters. I think they are just there to finish this, you know.
Oh, mate, you've got me blessed. Cannot wait. Angie, predictions time for the game then on Sunday. Super Bowl 60 at Levi Stadium. Who's going to be our star player come Sunday?
Got to be Shaheed, I think, or JSN, one of the two. So tough choice, but they both played amazing, you know. So yeah.
Gordon Haggis agrees with you.
In there.
Yeah, he agrees with you on YouTube. Thanks, Gordon.
What's that, sorry?
Oh no, the other Gordon Curry. He's in the comments.
Oh, is he good? What's he saying?
He said Shaheed is our secret weapon.
Yeah, good. You can't disagree too much with that. I mean, when it comes to predictions, I always give the same prediction. Those that know me, it came from standing in Carlo East being filmed the night before Seahawks won in MetLife against the Giants. Too much IPA that Terry Pepper had bought me, and I didn't realize it was 7.5%, and I was absolutely smashed. They didn't tell me what the ABV was when they were buying me the pints. My prediction was oh god, honestly, it was a nightmare. Anyway, it came with a Ric Flair woo as well. I'm not going to do the woo tonight, but it's the same prediction. As a bit of a joke, I always say that my prediction is 56-13, and it's always the Hawks. So I've genuinely never thought of a game that could be more appropriate for that prediction than this one on Sunday. 56-13.
56-13. Who's going to be your star player?
It's also a scorigami as well. Star player has got to be JSN.
Yeah. Josh, what about yourself?
Star player. I think this game will be, as much as like Gordon says, it could be an offensive just battering. I think this game is going to be won by the defense, just getting that Patriots team off the field. I think, and I've got money on a few players, and I'm just trying to think which one. Do you know what? I'm going to go. I'm not trying to board the hype train. I think it might be someone like Emanwari. Because they're going to put him in such fortuitous positions, and with Drake May having this rotator cuff injury where he can't throw the ball, he's going to probably be looking to run more. There's going to be more of the run game going. Emanwari is going to be that safety floating around the box who's going to be making all these tackles for loss, possibly a couple of sacks. You know, he could completely fake a blitz, drop back into coverage, pick a ball off. could be another Malcolm Smith moment. I think Emin Wari for my Super Bowl MVP, and the scoreline not as high as Gordon. But I'm trying to think what I said in the last couple of pods I've done. I'm going to go 38-13.
Oh, wow. Angie, I've never got a score from you.
Oh no, sorry, I was caught up in the moment there, just thinking we're winning anyway. I'm going to go 35. I'm going to go 35-10. Obviously, Seahawks winning.
I mean, from my side, it's 8 touchdowns, and I can easily see 4 being scored by either side of the ball. So that's the way it goes.
I'm loving this positivity that we're just putting out there. It's just,
you know what?
Send it out.
I'm going to join the positivity stream tonight. Then I'm going to go 31. I think it'll be a wee bit closer. It's not going to feel out of sight. I'm going to say 31-24.
Oh, look at Keith, prophet of doom here. Get off your pod.
To us.
We'll take over. We'll be the positive ones.
Listen, I've got plenty of Patriots fans in this podcast. I've got to go back to them. I can't just play with you guys all the time.
Nah,
we can
do without them, Keith.
You're invited onto 12 Talk with the UK Seahawkers official pod, mate. Just come and join us.
I would love to.
I mean, if ever there was a team that you wouldn't expect a UK national to follow, it would surely be the New England Patriots. Just purely because of what it represents,
Yeah, but people
I've always thought that's a bizarre choice for a team, Oh man. Anyway.
Amazing. Right. Okay. Something wild then that's going to happen in the game. We'll finish off with that. I'm going to start us off then. Jake Bobo is going to have something for the highlights reel. I think he's going to get a touchdown at some point. Bobo's going to get you. That's my one. I'll throw that in early doors. And what about you?
I think maybe Darnold's going to come in and score a few touchdowns as well.
Love it.
Yeah, maybe
love
2.
It. Gordon?
Definitely one.
Well, if
maybe 2.
If it's not Gray Zabel reporting as eligible, then it will be Jaron Reed's reporting as eligible, and Belly's going to get you, and he's just going to smash that in refrigerator style, into the scoring. So yeah, one of the two.
Amazing. Before I bring you in, Josh, for the last one, we've got the Fab Man saying 31-13.
Member of our Discord, absolute dude. Also lives in Gibraltar.
Good man. Gordon's also saying 28-24 to the Seahawks. Yeah, we're getting a wee kick at the end. Just to
tell Haggis he's been too nice. Curry, you're being too kind. His best mate is a Pats fan. That's why he's doing that. Secretly, he thinks we're going to smash them. I'm
pretty sure he's actually watching the Super Bowl with his best mate, who's a Pats fan.
Ewan's a good guy, like.
Superb. Right, Josh finishes off then. What's going to be something wild that's going to happen?
I want to see us on the 1 yard line, and
my God, that's Marshawn Lynch music.
without everyone getting that PTSD twitch, I want to see the barnyard happen on the 1 yard line. I want Mike McDonald, where everyone's going in these interviews. Are you going to run or pass? I want him to go up yours. We're going to do the safest play. We've got to get 1 yard, and we're going to give AJ Barner that barnyard on the 1 yard line to score the touchdown. Finally, that's what I want to see in the Super Bowl. Because all he's done is he's got like 3rd and 1, 4th and 1 all season. I want him to get in on the 1 yard line and let him push that ball through the pile.
Superb.
Nice.
Superb. Guys, this has been absolutely fantastic. As I say, I was a wee bit nervous coming into it. I am pumped for this. I'm going to listen back to this on Sunday while I'm trying to get a wee snooze, and this is just going to absolutely energise me for Sunday evening. I cannot wait for it. Oh, yeah.
Where's everybody watching it? What's everybody's plans?
Well, I'll be in Walkabout in Glasgow. We're hosting the quiz there, of course, and then we'll be staying on for it. It's a fantastic venue. So if you're still making plans for it, get down to Walkabout in Glasgow. I believe they've opened upstairs as well. There's maybe the atmosphere there last year was fantastic. So highly, highly rate it. So if you're not got plans yet, definitely head to Walkabout in Glasgow. What about yourselves, guys? Gordon?
So I've got a good friend, Aaron. Aaron and I did a trip, 8 years ago now. We did Saints on the Thursday night against the Falcons. We did Ducks Huskies at Washington Stadium on the Saturday, and we did Seahawks Panthers on the Sunday. And I go to Aaron's every Sunday night. We always watch the early games together. So we go and we get takeaway every Sunday. It's a kind of regime that we've got. But there's 8 of us there, and because he's a Saints fan, he cooks a big jambalaya every year and puts on a massive spread. So there'll be 8 of us. They with us, I mean, there's Viking fans, Niners fans, Saints fans, as I mentioned. There's a Ravens fan there. And they will take great joy in trying to wind me up as much as possible. And so I'm going to have to keep my own counsel. And that's why I think if it's a straightforward kind of performance that I expect, I'm going to really thoroughly enjoy it. I think if it is tense, then I'll struggle because I don't do that well. But I'm utterly convinced that this is going to be a fantastic evening, and I'll be with good friends. So yeah, 8 of us watching it together. It's the best way to do it.
Angie, before we go to Josh to finish off, what have you got planned yourself yet?
I'm probably just at home, me and the dog. Basically, he's a big Seahawks fan as well, so I don't have that many close friends that are into the American football. So a couple of times, some of my mates will come over, but we all kind of work shifts, so it's difficult trying to get everybody.
Angie, did you post a picture of your dog in a Seahawks jumper on the? Yes. Oh.
Yeah.
Can't get a bearded dragon, so I'm shit.
Yeah, he's a big fan.
Well, listen, you're welcome to come and join us up at Walkabout, or even Josh. What is it you've got planned yourself?
Oh, so the 12 Talk podcast and the UK Seahawkers, we are holding. Well, there's lots of different ones around the country, but we're holding the main Super Bowl watch party at O'Neill's Broad Street in Birmingham, where some of you may have been for one of the UK Seahawkers meetups, but there are over 50 12s from all over England and maybe the UK come in to watch it. We've got the upstairs room booked out. We've got, as well as everyone being there, there's going to be interviews from myself, my co-host Mitch for the podcast. We've got group photos that we plastered everywhere. We've got a charity raffle as well, full of Seahawks stash, which has been donated from various members of our sort of podcast community, some of our partners that we work with, and it's all proceeds for that are being donated to the Robbing Cancer Trust, which is our podcast's nominated charity, which specializes in raising awareness for germ cell, testicular and ovarian cancer. So everything that we make from that raffle goes straight to them. And it's going to be an amazing night. I can't wait.
Yeah, brilliant.
Fantastic.
Sounds excellent, Josh.
I hope everybody has a wonderful night. Listen, if it goes the way that, especially if Gordon is describing it, how about we reconvene sometime next week and chew over the bones off it, and if it all goes to the pot of the 1 yard line, we'll just never talk about it again. Yeah.
Talk about what? What?
I will not be available in podcasting circles for a while.
I've never met you before. I've never met you before. What's your name? Sorry.
Gridiron who? What?
What? American what? What are you doing?
I'll go back to being a Blackburn Rovers supporter if that happens.
Not that bad, Josh,
coming in for you.
Exactly. That's how bad it would be.
Guys, this has been an absolute pleasure. I hope your team wins on Sunday. Make sure you listen to 12 Talk for their coverage of the all things Seahawks. It's absolutely terrific. Get involved with the UK Seahawkers as well, especially the meetups. The Glasgow one was absolutely terrific. I'll hopefully get down to one of the ones down south as well sometime. I need to be a wee more active on the Facebook. Down south. We're the Wildfires member of this.
Birmingham's north of me. I live in Essex now, so
we've got to go over the wall, remember?
Yeah. There to keep you in.
We're like the wildlings, Josh. Yeah.
Guys, thank you very much. It's been an absolute pleasure. Hopefully speaking to you again next week. If we are not, make sure you enjoy the football. Get in touch. Make sure you like and subscribe to the crew. And yeah, thanks very much, everyone. Go Hawks.
Go
Go
Hawks.
Hawks.
Hawks.